for that month.
Why don't you have your own account?
But that's a different issue. That's a different issue.
Well,
You borrowed $7,000 from River Shores for what?
Trying to give you an idea of how the chargebacks occur. So anyway, the accountants would like us to separate out.
I should think so.
And we'd like to separate out. Now, in order to do that, at the present time, there are funds that have to be repaid to. We have advanced. River Shores has advanced the Middle River Club monies to pay. To pay bills over the past. We're usually about a quarter behind. In other words, because you pay in quarters. For example, in our budget, we say $9,000 for a year for the oil heat, for the gas heat, for the pool. Well, let me tell you something, folks. That $9,000 gets used up between December and April, and you're paying $3,000 a month. All you're paying is your heating bills.
And you've got to up it. You've got to change your budget.
You cannot, the TECO, the gas company, will not take incrementals of $1,000 a month. We've asked them to do that. They won't do it. So what we're trying to do, if we bite the bullet, do monthly payments to the clubhouse instead of paying us quarterly, to pay us monthly, which it says in which our documents do cover.
That's not a problem. Paying you monthly is not a
And then we will.
problem. The problem is it's not being budgeted accurately.
We need
There's
to.
no reason for River Shores to front the Middle River Club.
Thank you.
If you can maintain a budget, you know what your expenses are.
No, it doesn't.
Middle River Club, which costs money.
I'm sorry.
Can you say that again, please?
Own this
Entity.
It's supposed to be.
Well, you know what? It's going to cost everyone and myself some money.
Well, we got to do something about it. It just, you can't continue.
Borrowing, I don't care who you borrowed it from. You borrowed $7,000 to cover your monthly expenses. It doesn't really matter if you borrowed it from Bank of America or River Shores.
Because River
Okay?
Shores doesn't charge
My
the
point
interest.
is that you were $7,000 short on your budget. Okay? You overspent $7,000.
No, we didn't overspend.
You either overspent it or didn't collect it. You either overspent it or didn't collect it. Somehow you got in debt $7,000.
There's a shortfall in the budget.
Why?
That's a different issue. A shortfall in the budget is a different issue from the money you borrowed from River Shores.
Which is why River Shores has traditionally forwarded the clubhouse money. It's like kind of having a cart with one square wheel. So
No, it's not.
no.
No. When did you make this loan from River Shores? Last year, sometime 2004?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When did you borrow this money from River Shores that you owe them?
It goes along in maintenance every single, if there's a bill, and if it's been going on since for 3 or 4 years. It's not just when I was president. It was there when it's been going on for years. What we'd like to do now is to stop it.
Oh, so you're saying that this is, so it's $7,000 or $9,500? How much do you owe?
The total that we need to come up with is $21,000, and then the $18,000.
How much do you owe River Shores? How much do you owe River Shores? How much do you owe River Shores? Is it $7,500? Is it $9,500?
It's $11,500.
Well, then what about the
$11,000?
Yes.
Too bad I don't have the copies of the actual check.
This is sad.
For 6
Total
months.
mismanagement.
How did it go from 7 to 11? And
It could go, it's the bills that come in over the, you have to go up and take a
no, you know what your bills are. You budget for your bills. You've either under budgeted or
It's
overspent.
very easy to say, except
I do it every month.
Okay.
I do it, and everybody in here does it with their own personal
The
bill.
annual budget is supposed to cover all the expenses anticipated for the year.
That's right.
We're
The only-
halfway through the second quarter.
Right, the only thing,
We have contributed ours, I assume River Terraces, River Shores ponied up their money?
Absolutely, because we always pay it in advance. And then we have to charge, and then we have to charge it back. So what happens? Well, let me just explain to you. So then when we pay it in advance to you, to the club, pardon me, because of the situation, the way that it goes, when it's paid out in advance, when it comes time for us to pay our $10,000 or whatever the fee is that we need to put in to be our share at the quarter, first we need to repay back to ourselves what we've already paid over and above the previous quarter. So we're always running a quarter behind, if you will.
Oh, that's the problem.
That's the problem. You got to get your budget straight.
So what we're proposing here, what we're going to do, is to fix this. This is the fix. with an assessment. Now, don't forget, River Shores pays 63% of whatever the figures are.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't mean
It does,
anything.
it does.
It's a ridiculous.
River Shores is paying 63%,
$38,000.
So,
which is a lot more than,
are you saying we have a loss because of that?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So then what are you saying?
I'm saying we are also paying to do this. We're not just going for a free
You
ride.
have been paying, yeah, all right.
We are paying, and we'd like to fix
Well,
it
you're
so
paying
that
yourselves
going
back,
ahead,
is what you're doing.
we'll be on an even keel.
Pulling it out of one pocket and sticking it in the other.
My question is this.
Just one second.
There's no sense discussing it.
Well, I feel better.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's not that you're wrong. It's useless.
Right.
It's not useless. This guy on the right maybe might have a vote too.
Okay, so. As of July, I'm sorry, is it, is it Barbara, not Barbara,
My name's Linda McKelvey.
Sorry, Linda.
River Bend. You also have on here that you want additional funds to offset a shortfall where it appears to me that your actual 2004 expenses were higher than your 2005 budget, that your 2005 actually shorted you $7,500. Okay, the 2005 budget was $7,500 short of the 2004 actual.
Right. This-
Okay, now,
Let her finish,
that to me is a misbudgeting. I don't know who made up these budget figures, but you never go lower than your actual. That's ridiculous. You come to us in January and you say, this is the proposed budget for Middle River. Everybody goes, yeah, approves it, and now it doesn't mean a damn thing that we approved it, because now you're coming back and saying, well, now we want to revise it. We want another $7,500.
The budget is an approximate figure.
I'm very well aware of that.
Right out of my
Oh,
mouth.
that's fine.
What I did was,
We're
when,
50% ahead,
when,
halfway
excuse
through the
me,
year.
He's a
when I
cheerleader.
sat down, after the new board came on, everyone came on the new board, I asked Richard if he'd be good enough to go over or to analyze, if you will, the budget, like the shortfall, or to take
Why didn't you have
every
these
line
figures
item.
when you did your budget?
Well, we did some of it, yes, we did it, but to make sure that what we had was enough or whatever. And when he analyzed it, they realized that we were going to face a shortfall come the next quarter or so. And in order to avoid that, and in order to, for the remainder of the year, in order to pay River Shores back, so we can all proceed to go ahead monthly, on a monthly basis, that's where the money will be coming in.
All right, I have a question, if I may, address this to your treasurer regarding the 2004 assessment. You were supposed to have collected a total of $51,300 from the April and the June 2004 assessments. Was all that collected?
I don't do any of the bookkeeping, it's all done in the office.
You have a question like that, you want to come?
Who does the
It's up
budget?
it's in the office, it's done in the office on the computer.
We should have answers, Nancy, when we come
Okay.
to a meeting.
I'm going,
Is it you that does it?
I have, according to the accounting statement of the end of the year, I have that approximately $960 of that assessment was not collected. And so,
Everybody paid their condo fee on time, it would be collected.
Okay, that's
so this is
very
not our
good.
problem.
So
This is
not
go
our
after the people that don't pay the fees.
Are you saying that if River
No, it's not
Bend
collected, I'm really
had a
mad.
problem with getting maintenance, they would forgive us our maintenance? Is that what you're saying? I don't think so.
Rich's partner.
Okay, then, since only $50,339 of that was collected,
No, all of the monies from the assessment were collected. I don't know where or what figures that you...
well, not according to your accounting statement ending December 31st, which I have right here.
Uh-huh.
It's short $961 from what should have been collected, according to what you sent us as a bill.
Right.
Okay, which showed that the $51,300 for the April and June assessment, and according to this, what was collected was $50,339. Now, my question is, you collected $50,339, there's only $36,000 expensed. Where's the other $14,000?
the $7,000 from the assessment, oh, that's easy to tell you. The $7,000 check we just wrote to, to finish off the roof payment, because they didn't pay the roof man until the roof was finished and approved by the city.
Okay.
And there's the other $6,000 floating in the account of, not in escrow, but in a sense in escrow, because it's assessment money to be used for the solar, which has not.
But still has not been done.
Yeah, and that's the $14,000 you're asking me about.
Okay, great, thank you.
Which means that you
Nancy, could I just make one comment?
Sure.
I don't know why we're collecting money here in
It
advance.
just is, it's a labor of love. I know that all these things take time, and no one appreciates doing nice things for this place more than I do. But don't you think it would be the better part of valor to get your budget and your shortfalls straightened out first before you ask us for additional monies for anything else?
How could you do that without money?
I'm asking a question, sir, of her.
Well, actually, I don't know how to explain this to you any other way than the way that I have, and obviously I'm not making myself clear, and I do apologize for that, Barbara. What I can say is that we have two sets of accountants at the present time who are using the system that we use upstairs. They come into the office and they take out what the accountants take out, the accountant copy of every single penny that comes in, goes in. And
I'm not questioning that, Nancy.
No, but
I'm trying to make a comment here.
Right.
You're asking for more money when we don't even have a budget that's straightened out yet. And I think that's a waste of time, and I think that we have a right to tell you that.
Absolutely.
And even though we sit here and we tell you our objections, we walk out of here, you guys have the majority vote, doesn't matter. You don't listen to anyone. You
No,
do what
that's
you
not true.
want to
I'm
do.
listening to you now,
And it's unfair.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's true, too.
You know, this is not subject to a floor vote, it's subject only to the 5 people that sit up there, and it's just...
How much money have we given Middle River Club?
$145,000 in 2003 to 2004.
Now, so what, Barbara, would you be
The
good enough?
my point is, Nancy, with all due respect,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
I understand what you're trying to do. I think some of this thing is frivolous because you haven't gotten your budget or your shortfall fixed yet. I think you need to fix that before you do another thing here.
And let's forget about the gazebo awning and...
Right.
You asked me about that, you had asked me about the gazebo, who asked me about that? That was, there were two separate ones. One went away when we had the $7,000 unexpected, what do you call that stuff, asphalt that was found, is it asphalt? No, it's asbestos. The asbestos, when we ripped up this floor here, we found out that we had not only one coating, but 2 coatings of asbestos. And the other, and that was a small awning that was gone out here. That's the awning that was included in the assessment for the clubhouse. That went away because the money wasn't there.
Okay.
It's not frivolous, but wait, let me finish.
Okay.
This awning over here has been hanging fire for, it's $1,300. It's been hanging fire in the budget, we don't have reserves, and it's been there since 3 years now, right? Since the first summer. So we would like to see that put up. It's not frivolous.
Okay,
It's an old thing.
my point is still the same.
It's not a necessity.
Until you have your budget straightened out, I think that no one would forgive you. We would love to give you money to straighten out the shortfalls and whatever you have to repay. But until you straighten that out...
Excuse me, I'm trying to explain to you. This has been straightened out. That's why we're coming to you tonight, because we went over the budget line by line, vendor by vendor, item by item. Now, if I'm not making myself clear, I do apologize.
This should have been done in
And I would
January
just-
before you ever presented the budget to us.
But like we had when we approved the budget at the annual meeting, and it included an increase. And there is everything has gone up, water, whatever, you name it,
We're
it's gone
happy
up.
to give it to you,
So,
but...
what I want
Yes,
you
it
to feel,
included
I
an
want you to
increase, but it
feel,
obviously wasn't enough.
but I want you to feel that you understand, and I'm obviously not explaining it to you in an adequate fashion. So can you give us an hour or something, if you will come up to the office and...
Let me tell you something,
wait a minute.
Nancy.
You went
I
through a
work for a
budget
living.
process.
I always get this answer, come to the
We went
office.
through a budget process,
Don't
that's
fall
the year. We based our budget on that, we went up 10%.